Deep in the cold, endless black of space, the fleets of the Vireth Dominion floated silently. Ships of all shapes and sizes drifted through the stars, their hulls glowing faintly under distant suns. Across the galaxy, other alien empires were doing the same, preparing for the war that everyone believed was inevitable. Every commander knew the story. A war for resources, power, and control over countless star systems. On the bridge of the Vireth flagship, Admiral Calith stared at the glowing data screens. He had spent centuries mastering strategy, conquering star systems, and crushing enemies. Nothing in the galaxy had ever surprised him. "Everything is ready," one officer said. "Our fleets will sweep through the outer rim. Nothing can stop us." Calith nodded, confident. "The humans are weak," he said. "Primitive. Their technology barely reaches the stars. They are nothing, humans." Calith's officers laughed. The very idea that a species from a blue planet, barely capable of interstellar communication, could be important was laughable. "They will watch as we conquer the galaxy," one officer said. But then a small blinking light appeared on the screen. It was a signal. Tiny. Simple. Almost nothing compared to the complex messages and battle codes the fleet received every hour. The signal was unusual. It was coming from Earth. Calith frowned. "Bring it up," he ordered. The officer hesitated. "It's simple, Admiral." Almost childlike. Calith leaned forward. He studied the lines of code, the energy patterns. Something about the signal made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. There was no complex encryption, no weapons coordination, yet it carried purpose, a strange, precise rhythm that he could not ignore. "Why would humans send this?" another officer asked. "Humans are weak," Calith replied firmly. "Nothing in that signal can matter. It's meaningless." Still, Calith could not turn away. He studied it longer, and slowly unease crept into his chest. There was something wrong, or maybe something brilliant. He called the communication officer over. "Analyze it again. Every pattern, every pulse. I want to know if this is a mistake." The officer shook his head. "It's not a mistake, Admiral. This signal is designed to be seen. It's a message. But the meaning, it's not clear. It could be a trap." Calith's eyes narrowed. A trap from humans? Impossible. He had studied countless species. Humans were primitive toolmakers. Their rockets were slow, their shields weak, and their weapons barely scratched a warship. Yet something in this signal was different. He tapped his claws on the console. "Prepare a small reconnaissance fleet," he ordered. "I want eyes on Earth before we continue. No unnecessary risk." Across the bridge, officers murmured. The idea of sending a fleet to investigate a weak blue planet seemed absurd. But Calith did not laugh. He could not. Meanwhile, on Earth, the signal's origin was hidden deep underground. In a secret research base, a human named Marcus stared at his screens. Sweat ran down his forehead. Every calculation, every small adjustment had led to this moment. The signal had been sent. The galaxy had noticed it. And now the pieces were moving exactly as he had planned. Marcus was quiet, calm, and precise. Outside the walls of his lab, the world seemed normal. People went about their lives, unaware of the danger creeping closer through space. Only Marcus knew that the smallest spark of an idea could change the course of history. Back in orbit, Calith's reconnaissance ships approached Earth. They passed the moons, the oceans, the green continents. And they saw nothing alarming. Just a world of primitive life. Cities, forests, oceans. No weapons capable of interstellar defense, see? One officer said. "Nothing here. The humans are harmless," but Calith did not reply. He watched the sensors, studying the patterns of energy in the signal, the pulse, the rhythm. Something about it was precise, deliberate. It was not just noise, it was intelligence, and it was dangerous. Suddenly, the signal shifted. The tiny blinking light on his console changed its pattern. Calith felt a cold shiver. Every instinct he had as a commander screamed at him. He did not know why, but he understood one thing clearly. This was no ordinary species. Humans were not what they seemed. On Earth, Marcus leaned back in his chair. He had done everything in secret. No alien could have guessed his plan. And yet now, as the alien fleets moved closer, he felt a thrill of anticipation. The galaxy believed humans were weak. They believed Earth was nothing, and they were about to learn how wrong they were. Calith stared at the data, gripping the console. "Prepare the fleet," he said slowly. "I want to see what this human is hiding. Whatever it is, we cannot underestimate it." The alien officers exchanged nervous glances. A human, hiding something? Preposterous. But Caleth's eyes did not leave the signal. Deep inside, he sensed the truth. This tiny, fragile species might be the most dangerous in the galaxy, and somewhere below Earth's surface, Marcus smiled quietly. The first move was made. The war had begun, not with fire, but with a signal, and no one in the galaxy had expected it. Deep underground, far below Earth's cities and oceans, a massive secret laboratory buzzed with quiet energy. Metal walls hummed with power, and computers flickered with constant streams of data. Here no alien could see, no spy could know, and yet, humanity's fate and the fate of millions of alien lives was being decided. Marcus stood in the center of the room, his eyes scanning the enormous holographic display. Ships, planets, energy pulses, all projected in three-dimensional form, turning and spinning in front of him. His mind worked faster than the machines around him. Every calculation, every prediction, every tiny adjustment mattered. One wrong move could end everything. Marcus, one of his assistants whispered, stepping closer. The signal reached the aliens. They're responding. Their fleets are moving closer to Earth. Marcus did not flinch. He had expected this. In fact, it was exactly what he wanted. The galaxy believed Earth was weak. They believed humans were primitive. That confidence was their mistake. Good, Marcus said quietly. It means the plan is working. The assistants exchanged nervous glances. But there are thousands of ships. Their weapons are more advanced than anything we've built. How can we stop them? Marcus smiled faintly. We won't fight them directly, not yet. This isn't about matching their firepower. This is about intelligence, strategy. A single idea can do what armies cannot. He turned to a massive panel on the wall. Lights flickered across hundreds of modules. Machines that no human outside this lab had ever seen. Some looked like weapons, but others were strange, unfamiliar devices, pulsing with soft light. The humans in the room had spent years building them, perfecting them, keeping them hidden even from their own governments. This is our edge, Marcus said. This is what no one expects. The aliens will see nothing until it's too late. He moved to a central console and pressed a sequence of keys. A holographic model of the approaching alien fleet appeared. Dozens of enormous warships arranged in formation. The room went silent. Marcus's assistants watched tense as he highlighted one tiny line of ships. These are the scouts, he explained. They are fast, precise, and arrogant. They will be the first to discover Earth, or what they think is Earth. But we will lead them exactly where we want. One assistant gasped. You mean, lure them into a trap? Marcus nodded. Exactly. But this trap is not just for them. It's for anyone who underestimates humans. If it works, it will save millions of lives, alien and human alike. He walked to a console on the far side of the room. There, a miniature ship hovered inside a force field, glowing faintly. Unlike Earth's ordinary satellites or rockets, this ship had no visible weapons, no obvious shields. Its shape was strange, almost organic. This is our spear, Marcus said. It can move faster than any alien ship. It can vanish from their sensors. It can strike exactly where we need it to, and it's controlled by a simple human mind. The assistants looked skeptical. One ship? Against thousands of alien warships? Marcus's eyes glinted. It's not about numbers. It's about surprise. About intelligence. About what they will never expect. The galaxy has forgotten one thing: humans are clever. Hours passed. Marcus moved through the lab, checking calculations, adjusting energy flows, monitoring simulations. Outside, Earth's day continued as normal. People went to work, children played, and the wind blew across forests and oceans. No one knew that beneath their feet, a single human was preparing to outwit empires and save lives. Millions of alien lives included. Then, a warning sounded on the main screen. The reconnaissance fleet Caleth had sent was approaching. The tiny blips moved across the holographic projection, coming closer to Earth's orbit. Marcus's lips curved into a small smile. Everything was unfolding as he predicted. Prepare the decoy, he said calmly. The scouts will see it and report back. They will believe they understand Earth. They will believe it is defenseless. His assistants worked quickly, activating holographic shields and sending false energy readings into space. Marcus watched closely as the alien scouts drew nearer, their sensors fooled by the subtle manipulations he had designed. Every movement, every pulse, every signal was a lie. A lie designed to protect humanity and to set the stage for something far greater. Suddenly, One of the assistants looked up. Marcus, Admiral Caleth's ships. They are changing course. They know something is wrong. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Good. Let them see what they think they want. Let them make their mistakes. Humans do not fight by strength. We fight. High above Earth, the alien reconnaissance fleet moved silently through orbit. Their ships were enormous, sleek, and glowing with power. Sensors scanned every inch of the planet below. Every commander in the fleet believed they were prepared. Every officer believed the humans were primitive and helpless. Admiral Caleth stood on the bridge of his flagship, eyes narrowing as he watched the planet rotate slowly below. Oceans, forests, mountains, and tiny human cities barely noticeable from space. They are primitive, Caleth said coldly. No weapons of interstellar range. No shields strong enough to stop a single warship. This planet is nothing. Officers nodded, some even chuckling. It is laughable, Admiral. They send a signal and we respond. They have no idea how small and weak they are. But Caleth did not laugh. His eyes stayed fixed on the sensors. That tiny signal the one humans had sent had changed something deep in his instincts. Something about it felt precise, deliberate, dangerous. Meanwhile, on Earth, Marcus and his team were monitoring every move of the alien fleet. In the secret underground lab, the holographic display of the approaching ships filled the room. Marcus leaned over the console, calm and focused. They're here, he said softly, and they believe they understand everything. The assistants exchanged nervous glances. There are thousands of them, one said. How can one human, one ship do anything against all that? Marcus smiled faintly. It's not about fighting them directly. It's about control, deception, and surprise. Humans have one advantage they will never see coming: thinking differently. He pressed a few keys and a miniature holographic ship appeared beside the giant fleet. Unlike the alien warships, it had no weapons, no shields, and no obvious means of defense. Its design was strange, almost organic, and it shimmered faintly in the holographic light. This is the spear, Marcus said. It will move where we want, hide when we need, and appear exactly when the time comes. They won't even know it exists until it's too late. Back in orbit, the alien fleet's sensors picked up a small disturbance near the planet's atmosphere. A tiny craft had launched from Earth, but it was unlike any human ship they had ever seen. It vanished from some sensors, reappeared on others, and moved in ways that no alien pilot could predict. What is that? One officer demanded. It shouldn't be able to move like that. Humans are primitive. They can't do this, Caleth's eyes narrowed. It's small. Too small to matter, but it is moving with intent. Watch it closely. The human ship, guided by Marcus, weaved through orbit with precision. Every move was calculated, every pulse of energy measured. It appeared suddenly near the largest alien warship, then vanished again, leaving the alien sensors confused and disoriented. This is impossible, an alien officer muttered. They shouldn't be able to do this. It's clever, dangerous. Caleth's claws tapped on the console. They are hiding something. I can feel it. Prepare to intercept the ship, but do not underestimate it. We do not know what it is capable of. Marcus watched the holographic display, his hands moving over the controls with calm precision. He had anticipated every possible reaction of the alien fleet. Every interception attempt, every recalibration of their sensors, every maneuver had been predicted. They will panic soon, Marcus said, and when they do, the rest of the plan begins. The first alien scouts approached closer to Earth, scanning cities and forests. They reported back to the main fleet, laughing at what they saw. Humans moved on foot, in small aircraft and in primitive rockets. Nothing here could pose a real threat. They are harmless, one alien said. The humans cannot even reach the stars properly. This planet is nothing. But Caleth did not reply. He watched the tiny, disappearing craft. Something inside him knew that appearances could be deceiving. Humans were rarely predictable, but this human, Marcus, had a mind that worked in ways Caleth had never seen. Suddenly, the human ship executed a maneuver that no alien had predicted. It moved so fast, vanished from sensors entirely, then reappeared behind a cluster of alien scouts. Their systems flickered, their formation broke, and alarms rang through the fleet. What is happening? An officer shouted. Our formation is collapsing. This is impossible. Caleth's eyes narrowed. It's a human. I don't understand. But they are clever. Too clever. Below Earth's surface, Marcus leaned back in his chair, watching the aliens struggle. His heart did not race. He had expected this. Every detail had been planned, every reaction anticipated. The humans were small, weak, and underestimated, but this one human, one idea, could change the course of events. The alien scouts sent urgent signals to the main fleet, reporting the strange craft. But the main fleet could not make sense of it. The tiny movements, the disappearing acts, the calculated appearances, it was unlike any strategy they had ever encountered. "They are tricking us," one officer finally admitted. "This is not normal. Humans are smarter than we thought." Caleth's eyes burned with suspicion and a growing respect. "This human, whoever they are, is dangerous. Prepare for direct engagement, but proceed with caution. We cannot underestimate them, or we risk losing everything." As the alien fleet scrambled, Marcus activated the next phase of his plan. Energy pulses sent waves across the sensors of the alien ships, creating false readings, hiding the true location of Earth's defenses, and preparing the battlefield exactly as he had imagined. He smiled quietly. "The first contact is complete," he said, "and they have no idea what's coming." High above, in the cold black of space, the alien fleets hesitated. They had come expecting a weak, defenseless planet. What they found instead was confusion, precision, and a mind they could not predict. And somewhere deep underground, the human behind it all prepared for the next move, a move that would decide the fate of millions. The first contact had been made, and the war, though invisible to most of the galaxy, had truly begun. The alien fleet was in chaos, above Earth. The massive warships twisted and turned, trying to catch a glimpse of the tiny human craft that seemed to vanish and reappear at will. Every sensor reading was false, every prediction Marcus had anticipated, every move part of his careful plan. Admiral Caleth's claws tapped impatiently on the console. "Bring the scouts together. We must trap it," he barked. "No human can outsmart a fleet of this size." But the more he tried to corner the craft, the more it evaded them. It moved like water through the cracks of a rock, impossible to pin down. Every attempt to intercept it ended in confusion, wasted energy, and a growing sense of unease among the alien officers. "This is impossible," one muttered. "They are only human. How can they do this?" Caleth's eyes narrowed. "They are not just human. Whoever controls this ship thinks in ways we cannot predict. Focus on the patterns. Study every pulse. There is logic here, but it is not like ours." Meanwhile, in the underground lab, Marcus guided the human craft with precise hands. On the holographic display, alien warships moved exactly as he expected. Every misstep, every overreaction was carefully planned. The human craft emitted tiny energy pulses, invisible to normal alien sensors but affecting their systems in subtle ways. "They think they are in control," Marcus said softly to his team. "But they are dancing to my rhythm. Every move they make leads them where I want." He activated the next part of the plan. A network of hidden energy nodes around Earth hummed to life. They were invisible to the aliens, spread across continents, oceans, and even the upper atmosphere. The nodes created illusions on alien sensors, multiple false Earths, fake ships, and energy signatures that masked the real location of humanity's defenses. "Now we begin the trick," Marcus said. "Watch and learn." Above, the alien fleet reported strange readings. Energy spikes appeared where no human technology existed. Ships seemed to vanish and reappear across space. The fleet formation became chaotic. Officers shouted in confusion. "It's a trap," one cried. "But where is it? Where is the human?" Caleth's eyes burned with frustration. He did not understand. Every time he thought he had located the craft, it vanished. Every path he tried to predict led to emptiness. The humans had created a battlefield of illusions, hiding what was real, revealing only what they wanted the aliens to see. Marcus smiled faintly. He knew the moment had come. He directed the human craft toward the center of the alien scouts, leading them into the exact position he wanted. The alien warships followed, confident they were chasing a weak, primitive species, but in reality, they were stepping into a web. On the holographic display, Marcus's assistants gasped. They're trapped," one said. "Not yet," Marcus corrected calmly. "They only think they are trapped. Wait for the next pulse." He activated the energy nodes around the planet. Tiny waves rippled through space, affecting alien sensors. Suddenly, the fleet's navigation and weapons systems misread distances and positions. The massive warships collided with each other, firing on false targets. Confusion spread like wildfire. Kaleth roared in frustration. "What is this? Humans should not be able to do this. They cannot match our strength." "They are tricking us," an officer admitted. "Every move, every reading, it is false. We can't see the real situation." Marcus guided the human craft closer to the edge of the fleet. With each calculated maneuver, he drew the aliens deeper into the trap. They followed what they thought was the human ship, unaware that every movement led them to vulnerabilities carefully planned by a single HFY. The alien fleet floated above Earth in disarray. Their warships, once confident and terrifying, now moved like confused predators unsure of where the threat lay. The human craft that had caused chaos now hovered silently in the void, its small size hiding the mind behind it, the mind of Marcus. The genius no alien could see coming. Admiral Kaleth paced the bridge of his flagship, claws clicking against the floor. His eyes burned with a mix of anger and admiration. "How can a single species do this?" he muttered. "They are supposed to be primitive. Their technology is weak, yet they control the battlefield with one tiny ship." Officers whispered nervously among themselves. "Admiral, we can't predict its next move. Every attempt we make, it fails." Kaleth's gaze remained on the displays. "It's not just the ship," he said quietly. "It is the human controlling it. Their mind is different, dangerous." Below, Marcus watched the alien fleet through his holographic interface. He had guided them into a position he had prepared for weeks. Every misstep they made, every collision and sensor failure had been calculated. And now the final phase was ready. Phase 3, Marcus whispered. The moment to end this. Carefully, he activated the hidden Earth energy nodes again. Waves of subtle energy pulsed through the vacuum of space, invisible to alien eyes but affecting their systems in ways they could not understand. Engines misfired, weapons misaligned, shields flickered. The fleet's coordination, once flawless, collapsed further. The small human craft moved calmly through the center of the chaos. Marcus adjusted the trajectory with precise calculations, guiding the ship as if he were conducting an orchestra. Every movement, every pulse, every blink of light was perfectly timed. "This is the genius of simplicity," Marcus said quietly to himself. "We don't need to fight them head-on. We need to think differently." Alien officers shouted in confusion. "The humans are controlling everything." "Impossible," Kaleth growled. "Focus. We can't let them win. We must take control of the fleet." But control was gone. The aliens' confidence shattered. Every order given to the fleet seemed wrong. Missiles fired into empty space. Energy beams struck their own ships. Communication networks glitched. And in the middle of it all, the tiny human craft appeared and vanished, appearing where it shouldn't have been, always one step ahead. Marcus smiled faintly. He had anticipated every possible reaction. Every panic move of the alien commanders, every attempt to regain control was already part of the plan. "Now," he said softly, "the final demonstration." The human craft released a pulse of energy, carefully calculated to disable the alien fleet temporarily without destroying it. Shields went down, engines shut off, and the massive warships floated helplessly in orbit, unable to act or communicate properly. The aliens realized too late that their strength had been meaningless against a single human mind. Kaleth clenched his claws, eyes blazing. This human is not just clever, they are a genius. A single human has outsmarted my entire fleet. How is this possible?" On Earth, Marcus leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. Outside the lab, the night sky seemed peaceful. Humans continued their lives, unaware of the war unfolding above them. But Marcus knew that millions of lives, both human and alien, had been spared by his careful calculations and quick thinking. One of his assistants, still trembling from excitement and fear, spoke. "Marcus, we did it. You stopped them." "You actually stopped them?" Marcus shook his head. "Not stopped them completely," he said. "We showed them humans are not weak, that they cannot assume we are simple or helpless. One genius, one idea can change everything. That is what the galaxy must learn." Back in the alien fleet, officers scrambled to regain control. Messages were sent to distant commands. Reports were filed. But the truth was clear. The humans had won this encounter without even fighting directly. They had not destroyed ships. They had not used massive weapons. They had used intelligence, strategy, and courage. Keleth stared at the readings. His fleet was still functional, but the confidence of centuries of conquest was gone. He realized that the humans were not just clever, they were unpredictable. They thought differently, they acted differently, and that difference made them dangerous beyond imagination. "This is unprecedented," an officer admitted. "We can't fight them like other species. Their mind is superior." Keleth's voice was cold but tinged with respect. "Prepare a report for the High Council. Humans cannot be underestimated. They must be watched, and we must think carefully before we ever consider them enemies again." Above, the human craft returned to its hidden position, ready but invisible. Marcus observed quietly, his calm expression hiding the thrill inside. The first phase of the plan had succeeded. Millions of lives were saved. The alien fleet was confused, scared, and disoriented, and the humans had not fired a single destructive weapon. "This is only the beginning," Marcus whispered. "They now know that humans cannot be ignored, and next time they will think twice before underestimating us." As the aliens slowly tried to regroup, the truth became undeniable. One human mind, acting with genius and precision, had outwitted an entire fleet. The galaxy had witnessed the power of human intelligence, and for the first time many aliens wondered, what else could humans do if pushed? Keleth clenched his claws again, staring at the flickering sensors. He had conquered worlds, crushed enemies, and survived battles beyond counting. But this human was different. One mind had done what entire empires had failed to do. And now, he knew the galaxy would never underestimate humans again. And far below in the quiet underground lab, Marcus smiled. The war had not yet ended, but the humans had sent a message that could never be ignored. Intelligence, courage, and strategy could win where brute force failed. The human genius had been revealed, and the galaxy would remember it forever. The alien fleets hovered above Earth in uneasy silence. Their warships, once symbols of unstoppable power, now floated like confused predators unsure of what to do next. Messages flew between ships and across empires. Reports of the humans' brilliance spread quickly. Everywhere, commanders whispered the same words. One human had outsmarted an entire fleet, saved countless lives, and shown that humans could not be ignored. Admiral Keleth sat alone in the command room of his flagship, staring at the holographic displays. The tiny blip of the human craft, invisible yet everywhere, had changed everything. The confidence of centuries of conquest had been shattered by a single mind. He clenched his claws, not in anger but in disbelief. "This species," he muttered, "they are nothing like we imagined. They are dangerous, clever, unpredictable." Across the galaxy, alien leaders convened in emergency meetings. Some were furious, calling humans primitive and unworthy of consideration. Others were cautious, finally recognizing that a species they had ignored for centuries could pose a real threat. The galaxy had learned a painful lesson. Never underestimate humans. Back on Earth, Marcus and his team worked quietly in their underground lab. Outside, the world seemed peaceful. Children played, cars moved through cities, and the wind whispered through forests. Humanity continued its daily life, unaware of the attention it had just earned across the stars. Marcus watched the holographic display showing the scattered alien fleets. Every ship, every signal, every movement had been anticipated. Millions of lives, both alien and human, had been protected by careful planning and strategy rather than weapons of mass destruction. "One human," Marcus said softly, "and we've shown the galaxy what we are capable of. They will think twice before assuming they understand us." His assistants looked at him with admiration and awe. "You didn't just win," one said. "You changed everything. Millions are alive because of you." Marcus shook his head. "Not just because of me. It is because humans think differently. We are clever in ways no one expects, and that will be our strength from now on." High above, Admiral Keleth made a decision. He called the remaining alien commanders together. "We underestimated Earth," he said grimly. "We assumed they were weak, primitive, and easy to conquer. We were wrong. They have outsmarted us. We must report this to the High Council. Humanity cannot be ignored, and we must treat them with caution from this day forward." Alien officers exchanged uneasy glances. The whispers spread quickly. The humans, a species they had mocked, had shown brilliance that rivaled some of the galaxy's most advanced minds. One mind, one genius had caused chaos among fleets, saved countless lives, and left the galaxy wondering how much more humans were capable of. On Earth, life continued. No one in the cities knew that they had captured the attention of entire alien empires. The planet seemed ordinary. Yet below the surface, Marcus watched, calculating, planning, and ready for what might come next. Humanity had made its presence known, but Marcus knew the galaxy would be watching closely. "They will come again," he said quietly. "Some will come with curiosity, some with fear, and some with malice. But now they know they cannot assume we are weak. They cannot assume we are simple." In the distant stars, alien fleets slowly retreated, confused but alive. Some ships had been damaged, but no one had been destroyed unnecessarily. The message was clear. Humans were not just another species, they were thinkers, planners, and survivors. The galaxy had seen one human's genius, and it had changed everything. Calith's voice echoed in his ship's command room. "We will owe